Fracture prints your digital photos directly onto glass, making your favorite moments come alive in vivid color. Hand-assembled in the USA, Fracture glass prints are a unique and beautiful way to display and share your favorite moments. Simply upload your photo at fractureme.com, select your size, and your glass print will be shipped to you, ready to hang with just one screw. Use code POD15 to get 15% off your order today. That's code POD15 at fractureme.com.
Brought up a good point earlier this season. I think we were talking about, whether they made all these moves to just settle for second place. And to your point, I don't think they did. It's kind of funny, actually. I think with the trade deadline coming up, there's a distinct possibility that the Padres actually go over the luxury tax, or at least put them on pace to end the season over the luxury tax. And right now, the Dodgers are the only team over it right now in all the majors. And the Padres, it sounds really weird, but I think it's very possible that they end up over because they're pretty close right now. And
welcome to the Darren Smith Show.
This is the big one, boys. This is the one that brings us back. Soon, AM radio will reign king once more.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's Darren.
We love you. We love you forever and ever.
On Extra 1360.
Hour number 3, it's Extra 1360. It is the iHeartRadio app. It is HD Radio 101.5 FM, channel number 2. With you till 3 o'clock, John and Rich coming up at the top of the hour. Boys have been reunited all week long. Rich Ornberger back from a couple of days off, what sounds like one of the worst vacations ever, traveling to the East Coast. His dad had some sort of medical situation, fell down, and his wife threw her back out. So he was delighted to get back into the workplace. Always good to see Rich Ornberger, John Schaefer there coming up at the top of the hour. Thank you to the texter. On the text line at 70470, first word of the text, XTRA, we were talking about the origins of the wave for whatever reason. We kind of got sidetracked on that here on a Friday, who knows, and talked about the origins of the wave per Wikipedia. I don't know. Wikipedia is it's a credible place, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Most of the time?
If it's on Wikipedia, there's a 35% chance it's completely true.
35?
35.
619 number says, speaking of Wikipedia, take a look at Jake Cronenworth's page today for a great laugh. Okay, well, thank you. We did that. Jake Cronenworth's Wikipedia page. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it while you can. It says, Jake Cronenbone Cronenworth.
Cronenbone, huh?
Is that his nickname?
I thought his nickname was Drake.
I thought it was the Crone Zone. I saw MLB Network
That's
do a whole breakdown on the Crone Zone.
Yes, I see several teammates wearing the Crone Zone T-shirt.
He denied. He denied us.
He did.
The Drake Cronenworth.
I tried, and before I tried to explain it to him ahead of time, and I asked him again, like, "Are you sure? I think it'd be great. I think he would like it. I just don't think he's comfortable yet. I think maybe Drake needs one more, like a full season in the bigs, and then I think he might embrace it. I'm going to keep trying."
There's just tremendous irony in him with the swag chain, referred to as Drake Cronenworth.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of that. There's potential there for him because he would be the least likely candidate. Plus, somebody mentioned to me that he's a heavy metalhead. So this isn't music that he's going to be listening to anyway.
Right.
So the idea that, here's this guy, this metalhead from the Midwest, that all of a sudden we're turning him into some sort of hip-hop figure because he's wearing the swag chain. I just found the irony to be really, really fun. But it's the Crone Zone. It's Drake Cronenworth.
Yeah.
Now, according to Wikipedia, it's Cronenbone.
Refresh the page.
Jake Cronenbone Cronenworth. Well, this is what it said. I don't want to refresh the page because it's going to change on me, so I'd like to be surprised. So let me just get through this first paragraph, and then I'll refresh the page. This is what was what the texter was directing us to. Jake Cronenbone Cronenworth.
Dude.
What?
Dude,
Did you look at it?
No, I haven't looked at it, but now when you're doing this, I'm going to be so messed up when I talk to him in person and call him by the wrong...
Hey, Cronenbone.
You can go back to him today and say, okay, you've already turned down Drake Cronenworth.
Right.
How do you feel about Cronenbone?
Yes, you are forced to pick one of these names, and I'm probably going to call you that on Zoom now because I'm going to get so messed up.
Jake Cronenbone Cronenworth, born January 21st, 1994. Oh, 1994. Is an American professional baseball shortstop and second baseman for the San Diego Padres of Major League Baseball. He is also the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. Mm-hmm. That's what it said when a texter sent a text to 70470 and said, take a look at Cronenworth's Wikipedia
You're saying
page.
It's been updated since
Jim is saying it's been updated?
It's been updated.
I should refresh this?
You should.
Now, who did this? Did you do this?
I don't know.
Now it says Jake Cronenworth is an American professional baseball shortstop and second baseman for the San Diego Padres of Major League Baseball. He's also the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw.
Okay, now I have an idea. Shh. Can't tell you what it is.
So, like Marty said, Wikipedia about 35% accurate. No,
I say like 45%.
Find me the inaccuracy here.
It's pretty accurate to me.
Jake Cronenworth. Also the owner of the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. It's very funny. It is very funny. Enjoy that while you can. Thank you, whomever it was, for bringing that to our attention. I will tell you something else. We talked yesterday, this image of this fan in the stands as he's circling around and looking for Padre fans to high five. Then he turns right to a Dodger fan and extends his middle finger and is like, right here, buddy, here you go. We later found out that there was some friendly banter going on between those two. I was a little apprehensive about bringing that up.
I didn't know that because when I watched that video again, it looks like now you're looking from behind. It looks like the Dodger fans kind of smiling.
Yeah.
Like it didn't look like mean spirit. Like maybe they were friends that came together, or you know how it goes. You might have some good natured back and forth going the entire game. So that's what I thought, but I'm glad to know that it was friendly.
I hesitated to bring attention to it only because, if it had led to some sort of fight, and provoking people into fist fights at sporting events, I don't think that's really what I want to be promoting here on the show. Even though I might have my own thoughts about certain things, even though I'm, there's been plenty of times in my life where I wouldn't leave the house unless I was looking for some sort of physical confrontation. That's a million years ago. I didn't really want to promote that, but I was relieved to learn a little bit later on in the day that this was good-natured. It was friendly ribbing. It might not look that way as you're just looking, and we're all, we've all been impacted by these images of seeing actual violence at sporting events. The stuff that was going on between the Dodgers and the Astros was just horrific. The stuff that was going on between the Cardinals and the White Sox not too long ago, terrible, terrible stuff. So I don't like those images. I don't want to see those images. People bring their kids to these games, and people bring their wives and their girlfriends, and people, you can't. You shouldn't feel that way when you're going to a sporting event, even if you feel passionately about wanting to take your building back. And I understand that. I do understand that, and I do understand that you don't really want to hear somebody from out of town ribbing you and giving you the business constantly and telling you, how much your team sucks and your city sucks and all that sort of stuff. And that can wear on you. That really can. It can wear on you. But I was relieved to know that at least according to those who were chiming in, that this seemed to be a very good-natured exchange between the two, which then, to me, makes the image even that much better, that it's just like symbolically what it represented of this fan with his middle finger, like high five for you, high five for you, high five for you, high five. Nope, not for you. This is for you. Take this and beat it out of our ballpark. Take a hike.
I'm going to guess that after that, they probably put their rivalries behind and they did the wave together.
Probably.
His name is Bobby Cardosa. People found him on Instagram.
Oh, good.
And he said, too, like, it's all in fun. There was no malicious acts or anything between the two people. And there was nothing that happened after that.
Great.
Was bad.
Good. And like I said, that was my hesitation in even bringing it up. But there was something that I really did, frankly, love about that. And it's not just the immaturity of it all. Like, there was something, that really was. Like, that's a guy representing the city. That's a guy who's representing this team. And, I'm relieved to know that that me appreciating that on a radio station yesterday as a, supposedly credible member of the local press, that I wasn't advocating for violence. So I was relieved to hear that later on in the day. And I also would tell you a couple of other things. You mentioned Instagram, finding people on Instagram. How about Manny Machado on Instagram, who has reached out to the fan that made that barehanded catch of his home run, the home run that he hit against Trevor Bauer? Manny Machado posted the video of that home run. Do you follow Manny Machado on Instagram?
Yes, he's great. He's great on IG.
The Unnamed Soccer podcast does. And IG? Should I refer to as IG? Do I sound like a boomer if I'm saying Instagram?
Instagram, IG, doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I mean, I want to.
You want to fit in?
I want to fit in.
Say this.
I've already been knocked for things I didn't say.
Call it Insta.
Insta.
I do say
Insta
Insta a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to turn into the Steve Buscemi meme. But at any rate, Manny Machado. I saw that Manny posted the video of the home run, which just. Gosh, in person, like we had the perfect sight line for that, didn't we? Weren't the three of us sitting there at the same time, or were you off getting Din Tai Fung?
No, we were all sitting there, and Marty goes, "Oh my God, that catch!"
Yeah, and it was right over the Callaway ball down the left field line, and it just was a laser. And this fan makes this amazing catch from the second deck in deep left field. And Machado has started a search for this fan, promising him that he will give him something. I don't know what he's going to give him. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be greatly appreciated, and we're all going to be jealous. Mm-hmm. But Machado has said, hey, who made that catch? And like he has put out an APB for this fan.
Right. And it was a blast, too, man.
It was. I don't think I could do that. But
you don't think you could?
I don't. Do you?
Probably not.
Do you think you could do it?
Probably not. Probably break something.
But you don't think I could do it?
I think maybe Tim.
Tim could probably do it.
Yeah. I think Tim
do you
would do
think
it.
you can make that catch? I don't know that anybody thinks they can make that catch.
Try.
It's sort of the one where you're sort of surprised by yourself.
You're like, what the hell did I just do?
Yeah, it's sort of like you black out in that moment, and all of a sudden you have a baseball in your hand. You're like, what happened?
Could you after 3 beers?
I think I'd have a better chance after beers than I would. Because I'd get right into it after a couple of beers. You know, it's totally stone sober. I'd be like,
what?
Well, it's one thing to like catch it if it's coming at you. It's another to reach over the railing.
That's true.
And catch it where like, dude, you slip or something, you're falling down how many flights? Like
okay, I hadn't considered that. That the baseball could have. It was hit so hard. What was the exit velocity on that?
Got to be like 108, 109.
That the velocity of the baseball literally could have picked this person up out of the stands and carried him over down to a lower level. That's how hard Manny Machado hit that baseball. Hadn't considered that before. But I know what you're saying.
Got a little dark there.
Got a little dark. You hadn't thought about it, hadn't considered that. But good for Manny. And I also would tell you one other thing that came out of this series the other day that I was totally unprepared for. Just like I'm totally unprepared for what it's happening here on Jake Cronenworth's Wikipedia page. Mm-hmm. Is a little bit of online banter between the San Diego Public Library and the LA Public Library. I was not prepared for librarians to be engaged in trash talk on Twitter between the San Diego Public Library and the Los Angeles Public Library. I was not prepared for that at all. So to see that today play out on social media was something that I must admit, been in this business a long time. I don't know that I ever remember anywhere in my training, in my apprenticeship, that would have prepared me for library trash talk.
What are they bickering over?
Well, the San Diego Public Library, Marty. Mm-hmm. I guess I will have to look this up. I don't want to misquote the San Diego Public Library.
You can't do that. And I'm going to guess that as far as trash talk goes, it's probably the more intelligent sort of very smart trash talk, right? Librarians trash talking. It's got to be great, top notch.
Yeah. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. I mean, I know this is not great to sort of search and scroll through Twitter in the middle of a show. It's pretty terrible. But the San Diego, let's see if I can find it. I can't find it. Somebody will find it.
We'll find it. We'll get it at some point.
But the 4 employees from the San Diego Public Library stood up on some sort of balcony. You know, the library is just a couple of blocks away from Petco Park, and they've got a good sight line into Petco Park. And 3 of the ladies who work at this library, I don't know that they're librarians. I don't know that everybody who works at a library is a librarian, but we can call them librarians if you want. And the 3 of them are wearing swag chains, and they're standing up on some deck, and you can see Petco Park in the background. And they're talking about how like they feel kind of groggy, and they're a little bit sleepy, and they're swinging, and they've got their swag chains, and they're circling it and spinning it. Right. Spin it. And they're up there, and then all of a sudden this librarian comes in from the right side of the screen, and she's like, we're so tired because we were sweeping the Dodgers.
Oh, that's great.
And she comes in with a little broom, and she sweeps some stuff up, and then she has this really, I don't know, it's kind of hot look into the camera if I don't.
Whoa.
It is something there about it.
So we're sure these are real librarians.
I don't know.
This isn't like someone like, hey,
It's from the official San Diego Library account, then the LA Library chimed in and said,
Did they have a hot person that chimed in and made a video?
They didn't make anybody available.
They showed like their 60 game, their World Series championship?
That's what they did.
Oh, they did really?
Their version of trash talk was something along the lines of act like you've been there before.
They say we usually reserve our posts for games that really matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I would say.
Are those the swag chains they're going to be giving out at Petco? It looked like official San Diego Padres swag chain gear, like the new spinners. I don't know if they're out yet, but
I don't know where these librarians got it. If they are in fact librarians, I mean, is it worth playing this audio?
They made their own.
Oh,
they made their own because it says right here, using our 3D printers and some DIY bedazzling, our staff created this neat Padres swag chain. Interested? We've got a print by request service that can get you started. There's been a lot of Padre fans have made their own version of the swag chain.
Yeah. So there have been a lot of them.
Yeah. So,
I can't find it.
it's hilarious.
Well, here it is. All right. SD Public Library. San Diego Public Library staff are feeling a bit groggy this morning. Must be from all that sweeping. And it's, these 4 ladies standing up there on some deck. It's probably not worth playing the audio, right?
It's right there.
Yeah. And then this one comes in at the end and she's got this little... And then the LA Library felt compelled to jump into that. I find that to be all good-natured as well.
Little dustpan.
How about the look at the end?
It's
right
cute.
into the camera, right?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Anyway, I don't have a lot to analyze here. Game 1, Padres and Diamondbacks tonight.
No,
anybody going to these games? I'm not going to be going.
It's going to be a little bit tough. But if you go tonight, then tonight's Wine Fest, which was great. Beer Fest was insane last Friday. I mean, I've never seen so many people. Is it Park at the Gallagher Square? I've never seen. It was packed. Tonight's Wine Fest, and tomorrow another 7:00 game. It's like a fleece blanket.
Fleece blanket.
Fleece blanket. So that's incentive if you want to go and watch. Lamets tomorrow and then Darvish on Sunday.
Lamet tomorrow, Darvish Sunday. Yeah, I have a feeling here it's such the Diamondbacks, as terrible as they are on this run. I don't normally believe in this sort of stuff in June, but if you end up some amount of games out of the division, and you've lost those amount of games to the Diamondbacks, you might remember that somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might.
You don't want.
Down the road. What are you laughing at?
If you miss out by a game
Jim
or
has
two,
lost it in the other room.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I'm done.
What, the librarians?
No, someone updated the Wikipedia page again.
I know.
Really?
I saw that.
Can I read it?
Yes. It's on the side. They call him Jake Cronengirth.
Oh, man. People having a field day on this Cronenworth Wikipedia page, huh? I see it off on the side where it has his bio.
Yeah.
Cronengirth. Marty, good luck.
I have an idea. I can't tell you what it is. But the responses to these librarians are hilarious. Oh, my goodness. Including MLB Network asking if they have permission to use the video.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
MLB Network?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that gives us a reason to watch MLB Network.
All right. It says, hi.
They were
Is
showing
this your video? And if so, can MLB Network use it on all platforms in our programming if we credit your handle? Thanks.
SD Public
The
Library.
San Diego Library going to get some love. Public Library.
I never in a million years knew that there would be any reason or incentive whatsoever to follow the San Diego Public Library on Twitter.
Wow, this is amazing. I know. It's great.
Well, good for them. I suppose good for the LA Public Library as well for countering, for engaging in this conversation, even though, it's the kind of thing you say after you get swept. All that sort of stuff. All right. Tonight, Jim has mentioned it, and Jim, as always, thank you very much for promoting the San Diego Loyal Match Day Live pre- and post-show. Not only can you watch it on the SD Loyal YouTube channel, you can actually attend. We're going to be at one of the best bars in San Diego, soccer pub or otherwise, Bluefoot in North Park.
Oh, well, your hood. Wow. You
hood.
could scooter over.
This is my home away from home. You're bringing back some bad memories, Marty.
Oh, wait. Don't. Okay, I take that back.
I can scooter there. Scootering home was the issue.
Right. Don't scooter there because I know what happens. Win or lose, you drink the booze. You're going to pop some champagne. So I would say that after this 7:30 game, it's Friday.
Yes.
I would say that scootering back is a terrible idea.
Yes. All these years later, I suppose the statute of limitations has expired.
No.
That was where I was when I was scootering home.
I didn't realize that. That was the perfect storm.
I've seen your brother-in-law there a time or two.
Yeah.
You can show up. You can stop by Bluefoot tonight. We're going to have pre-show starting at 7 o'clock. The match itself is going to be on Fox 5, Azteca America 33. ESPN Plus. It's in the desert where it's 99, 100 degrees.
Nice. Against
Las Vegas Lights. On a similar vein, this is one where you've come off an emotional win against Phoenix Rising, one of the best teams, a team that you would consider to be a bit of a rival, and now you're facing a team that you feel like you should win, right? Like you should beat. And similar to have two local sports teams now operating with a little bit of that mental hurdle of having to get up for a team that you feel like you're somehow better than. The Padres clearly this weekend with the Diamondbacks. Great day. I thought great day off yesterday.
The letdown series. You don't want to have that.
Letdown. You don't want that against the trash, against a team that's just not putting up any results at all. And the same goes for what's happening out in the desert. A little bit different because you're playing away and you're playing in elements, and it's not a bad team out there. It's not a terrible team in Vegas.
100
not
degrees.
Terrible. It's going to be 99 at kickoff tonight.
It's pleasant. That's much better.
But if you want to come out and want to go to a bar, you don't have tickets to the game, it's a Friday night, you want to stop by Bluefoot, I'm sure they're going to be showing some baseball, they're going to be showing soccer. Last time we were there, and I think this is the case as well, they give you $1 off if you're wearing San Diego Loyal gear, shirt, scarf, hat, whatever. If you wear something that says Loyal, you get $1 off your drink, and you can watch the baseball on one side, multiple televisions. We'll have the soccer going here on Fox 5 tonight. So if you do want to stop by, if not, we'll be there on the SD Loyal YouTube channel starting at 7 o'clock pre, and then of course post game as well. Myself and Jordan. We'll be back coming up. Our best bets. I promise they're going to come up next because
that one texter's been waiting. Patient again.
I feel bad that this person thinks it's him. It's us. It's not you, sir. It's us. But we'll get to our best bets, plus some TV listings for the weekend. All that coming up next on Extra 30.
Harbin here, coming up on the Monday edition of the Extra Morning Show. We recap the weekend series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Was Fletch a curse? And we'll get you ready for Blake Snell back on the mound in a road game. We get started at 6 on Extra 1360.
All right, Friday afternoon here, winding it down, final 28 minutes of our broadcast week. Yeah, packed show last night on Kogo. Eric Grupner joined us. If you missed that, if you want to hear from the Padres CEO, talked a little bit about having capacity again at Petco, talked about the Holiday Bowl. I will tell you, we had Mark Neville on yesterday. We were talking to Mark Neville. He's the CEO of the SDCCU Holiday Bowl, talking about moving to Petco Park. And Grupner provided some interesting detail last night, I thought. Number one, the Padres are incurring the expenses here. It's going to cost a couple of $1 million to adjust the stadium. He said you will never know the difference whatsoever. But, I guess I didn't. To hear Art Grupner was to hear somebody say, we really felt obligated to help the Holiday Bowl out through this situation. Like, we really felt compelled to say, we've got to put the Holiday Bowl in the best position possible. Now, listen, are they going to make a couple of bucks off this? Of course they are. Is this going to be good for them hosting other events? They've always talked openly, and Eric Grupner, I think, has really grabbed the wheel of trying to turn Petco Park into not just a baseball park and not just a place where you can go and hit some golf balls or do some winter wonderland stuff. But, this now opens up all sorts of new opportunities for them. So, it's not like it was completely selfless. But, there was that angle I didn't really – I wish I had thought about that talking to Mark Neville about just making sure that this place had, a home that could host 50,000-plus people for the 2021 season and beyond for the Holiday Bowl. I mean, I guess I hadn't really thought that this wasn't so much out of desire as it felt and sounded very much like it was out of necessity. They couldn't let the Holiday Bowl. They couldn't let this very uniquely San Diego thing. They had to figure out a way to try to elevate it.
It's been a signature event.
Yeah.
And now this to me takes it to a completely different level.
Yeah.
It really elevates everything about the experience.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to resist doing is making it sound like somehow this would have been inferior at the San Diego State football stadium.
No, it would still be great.
But just in terms of like numbers and interest and what these conferences are looking for, they're looking for something a little bit more than 35,000. And this provides you the opportunity now to get it into a different bracket, to get it up there over 50,000.
Right now. And it gives you an
important.
immediate boost right now.
Yeah. And that's a detail that I must admit, like it didn't fully occur to me yesterday when we were on the air, was that, this wasn't just about the tug of war of should it be here or should it be there? Well, we're going to see what it looks like when it's down there. It's like, no, like in order for this to continue to become a better event, like it's got to be at a venue that's capable of being 50,000 plus. And, that's certainly the way Eric Grupner was framing it up last night, which again, I think I missed that. Television tonight, Hawks and Bucks, man. Bucks, what are we doing? 5:30 p.m. on TNT. Diamondbacks and Padres, 7:10 on Harry's. Chris Paddock, Corbin Martin. It's also Winefest.
Yes.
WINE.
Right.
Loyal in Vegas tonight, 7:30 p.m. on Fox. I mentioned this is one. Both teams now are fighting the same thing, coming off big wins, impactful wins. You feel really, really good, and now all of a sudden it's what we would describe caution the letdown. Plus, Loyal has to play.
Can't take the foot off the gas.
Yeah, Loyal's also got to play with down a couple of people too. One of the players who was here on loan from an MLS club got called back. And they're also playing without a center back named Thomas Van Giesel, who got called up by his national team, French Guiana. You guys know where French Guiana is? Admittedly, I looked this up this morning so I could prepare for the pregame show. I did not know where that was. Want to take a guess?
Is it in France?
Yeah,
it's a good guess.
Yeah.
It is Northeast South America.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It's in Ohio.
Right. Yeah. So good luck to TV, as they refer to him. World's biggest tiger shark, 7 p.m. on National Geographic. That should be terrifying.
I know.
Tiger sharks, man. Those things are brutal. 48th Annual Daytime Emmy Awards, 8 p.m. on CBS. Why is that on a Friday night?
I couldn't tell you.
Cheryl Underwood?
They're the traditional Emmy Awards, right? The daytime.
Okay. Cheryl Underwood, who's that?
Jim, do you know?
She hosts the 48th Annual Gala, saluting soaps, daytime talk, and children's programs.
It's like Sheryl Crow and what's the other girl's name? Underwood? Carrie Underwood?
Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, I don't think I think it might be a real person.
Are you suggesting that these two have blended into one?
Yes, they have morphed into one person.
Genetics. Hadn't heard that news. A Few Good Men, 8 p.m. on BBC. Spaceballs, 9:45 p.m. on Independent Film.
Always great.
Love that movie. Mm-hmm. I do love that. Cannibal Sharks, 10 p.m. on National Geographic. Is it Shark Week?
This is like the warm-up act to Shark Week. It's coming.
A look at the phenomenon of shark-on-shark predation. Mm-hmm. Features an Australian fisherman who keeps finding severed shark heads on his lines. Lovely. Lemon sharks hunting their own in the Bahamas. Yeah. And Cocktail tonight, 11 p.m. on BBC. In this tasty romantic drama, a cocky skirt-chasing bartender drops out of law school in search of a top-shelf lifestyle.
Was this a good Tom Cruise movie?
I thought so.
Okay.
Elizabeth Shue was in it.
Okay.
Do you remember the name of the bar that he wanted to open?
No.
Cocktails
Bar
and
Profar?
Dreams.
Oh, not Bar Profar.
I saw Cocktails and Dreams, a neon sign at one local place. Anybody know what it is?
Probably a strip club.
Probably.
I think I've seen that.
By the way, are those back up and running and at full capacity?
Who are you looking at?
Why are you looking at me?
Well, I know somebody you can ask.
Oh, well, we already had a conversation, which you can find on sportsSD.com.
What'd you guys talk about? Is it worth playing?
I don't know that we have time, but it was pretty funny. He smiled. Look at this. Look at this picture. I told him I've never seen you smile before. So no, just he said AJ's mad at him because he's making the trade look bad. He says he's a fun guy.
I buy it.
We talked about his soft side. He's an uncle. He's been watching an 11-year-old nephews, and he knows he doesn't want to have kids.
I'm telling you, I keep saying this about Tommy Pham. You keep saying, who do you want to hang out with? I would say Tommy Pham.
That's that guy.
I've never hesitated.
Yeah.
Tommy Pham is always my guy.
Mm-hmm. Here's a sneak peek.
How much fun are you having right now? And was there any point when you were going through some physical stuff that you were like, dude, what's going on? This stuff's going to turn. Bad luck keeps finding me.
This game's only fun when you hit homers, And I don't have many homers, so it's not really fun.
All right, well.
So he's not having fun, even though he says he's a fun guy.
I buy it. Have you seen that guy's Insta page? Got some good stories going on there.
Yeah.
I admit it.
Really?
I scrolled through it. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got some. Jim and I have traded a lot of Instagram links recently.
Really?
Insta's where it's at, Marty.
I mean, it really is.
It is. I'm almost off Twitter at this point and just on Instagram.
I think that's where that's what Manny. I don't think Manny Machado's on Twitter. I think he's strictly on Instagram. Puts a ton out there.
Tatis
a ton out there.
Barely tweets except when he's roasting Bauer. He only does Instagram. He has over 1 million followers now.
I saw that.
Tatis.
I saw that too. For a baseball player, that's tremendous.
Right.
Fastest growing, I think, baseball player on Instagram in the last year and a half.
And should be compared to baseball players. At some point, I think Tatis gets compared to NFL guys, NBA
He'll get there.
guys,
He'll definitely get there.
It's unfair to say LeBron has 90
No,
million.
but you get to the postseason. You'll get Yu Darvish has over 2, which is 2 million, which is massive.
For baseball players, it's ridiculous.
It is.
Because baseball players don't get that kind of attention.
No.
That's why we made a big deal about what happened last year when he signed that deal with Gatorade, a national deal with Gatorade. That was a really, really big deal. I know it didn't sound like much because you see athletes on Gatorade commercials all the time, but you know what you don't see? Baseball players. So that's great. And that you could do it all right here. It's fantastic. All right, best bets of the day.
Best Bets, brought to you by Valley View Casino and Hotel, San Diego's favorite.
Wow.
All right, my best bet is that the Drake, Jake, Cronenbone, Cronengirth Wikipedia page is just going to be a ton of fun all summer long, and we rely on you all to do whatever it is that you all are doing out there. But thank you for entertaining us, because that was just fun to watch it undergo construction right before our very eyes. So thank you. We look forward to many, many more afternoons updating everybody on the Drake, Jake, Bone and Cronengirth Wikipedia page. Marty?
Darren, my best bet isn't as fun as yours. My best bet is that we will not see Kawhi Leonard again in these playoffs, even if they go to the finals. ESPN had a shot of Kawhi Leonard sitting in a suite yesterday with his two kids. He was not on the bench with his teammates or near the bench, which makes you think that he knows he's out. He's away from the team because he's not really part of the team right now. So I would imagine that was a pretty big sign of where he's at.
Well, that's not uplifting.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, but I think they've shown now they have shown they can.
I think they can win the series.
Yeah, they can win the series. Without
I do
him.
think that. I mean that too. I actually do think that they can win the series. Now they look tired, but now I know it doesn't sound like much. Cameron Payne, who was essentially just Russell Westbrook's dance partner in
right?
Oklahoma City, him being out changes things a little bit. So I think they win tomorrow night. Jim,
I'll give you something uplifting. Drake, Jake, Cronengirth is going to hit a homer for the fourth straight game tonight against the D-backs.
What's the Padres' record on that? Anybody know?
No, I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, we'll just leave it at that then. Those are your best bets of the day, brought to you by Valley, because nobody here doing any work at this hour.
Wait a second. Don't you always do a best bet on soccer on a Friday?
Well, you got the Euros.
That's
you got
true.
SD Loyal tonight.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
So
if you want to
gotcha.
get up on Sunday, watch the Netherlands play. That's my squad in the Euros. I love watching the Dutch play. Big fan. Going to lunch tomorrow in Temecula with Gary Cooper, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty.
Nice. Wine tasting?
A little bit.
Very good.
A little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. That should be fun. Gary Cooper really helped me out.
That's great.
Came across a house that we put a bid on and had to use like warp speed to get all the stuff done. And we were not looking, but Gary really made it all happen. Didn't happen
great.
for us, but man, I
But
can't
soon.
thank that guy enough.
That's great.
So we'll see Gary tomorrow. Fantastic person for all of your mortgage and lending needs. 858, what's the number? Whatever.
376-1299.
Thank you. My brain is done.
It's Friday, huh?
Fusion coming up.
Roger, ignition engaged. The countdown is on.
3, 2, 1.
It's time for the Fusion.
Will Ferrell, he's back in his legendary role as Ron Burgundy. Season 4 of the Ron Burgundy podcast out now on the free iHeartRadio app. I was called Grump, all sorts of stuff earlier today, and I said I'm not anti-wave. I just don't want to do it. But I do know that people like a lot of like non-sports fans. My wife loves it. She's always like, "Oh yeah, the wave's coming," super into it, right? Because she's not the biggest sports fan, so she's just there to have fun. Just had a text from a friend of mine, Ryan. He went to a game the other night with his wife, Cameron, and says 100% out on the wave. Always have been, but I wouldn't let Cam do it either. She wanted to, but I told her no. I was like, well, that's the whole point. Like, how do you get the sort of semi-sports fans of your life interested in this sort of stuff? People love doing the wave.
The thing
I don't get it. People have this irrational hatred of it. I don't understand it.
I categorize it as there are two types of people. There are the people who, and I've just went to 2 weddings in back-to-back weekends. There's people who dance in weddings. There's people who don't.
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what I
the
mean?
don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
I'm not much of a dancer.
I knew it. Like,
but Rich is out there.
Oh, I'm getting up for the wave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm usually at the bar.
I'm spilling a Budweiser on myself. Yeah. I'm timing it correctly. As soon as the wave, this wave of humanity reaches my section.
No, I'm the opposite. I do everything in my power not to do the wave.
Yeah, you just pretend distracted.
No, I'm against it.
Like you're like checking your emails. Like, I missed it again.
I get up. That's why I go to the bathroom.
But there's
Seriously.
a difference between I don't do it and I'm against against it. See, I don't do it, but I'm not against it at all. I actually think it looks kind of cool.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not opposed. I mean, I'm not like, hey, everyone else around me sit down, but I'm not taking it apart. Jim is.
Tim
Jim's
hates
anti.
it.
Yeah.
Tim hates the way. My buddy Ryan is listening. He's like, I hate it. I don't want anything to do with it.
I mean,
people on our text line suggested earlier that those who do the wave should go to prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're going to do the wave, you need to at least have some etiquette. Like if it's a one-run game, 7th, 8th, or 8th inning.
You don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
But if it's 10-0.
Yeah, then bust the wave.
You don't want to see it in the World Series, do you?
Way too serious.
Imagine if it's the World Series.
It's like
heaven forbid it was in the World Series.
You are going to be the worst old man. You're going to be like sitting on your lawn like, hey, kids, keep it down across the street. I'm trying to enjoy sunlight over here.
Trying to enjoy the air.
Yeah, like somebody kicks a football on your lawn. You're going to be pissed off. That's going to leave a spot.
They do it in the College World Series, as I've been watching.
Yeah, of course.
So you're the only one.
Just people being people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine.
People having fun, but no. Fun police have to tell you, you can't do
Jim
that.
says no.
Tim says no.
Ryan. Some of our texters do. My buddy Ryan says no.
Your buddy Ryan says no. Arrest them all. Jeez.
Yep. Arrest them. And then prevented his wife, who's there at a game, who probably doesn't know what's going on. I mean, other than against Cam, I say that as if,
Yeah.
But she's just sort of there.
Yeah, she's just filling a seat. That's cool.
Well, she doesn't have
My
memberships.
wife is the same way. Like, if I'm getting her to go to one of these games, I got to be like, oh, but, food, wine, drinks, afterwards, go to this place, pregame, go to this place, right? And if she wants to do the wave, I feel like that's like a small sacrifice if my wife wants to do it.
Your wives aren't on Fangraphs and Baseball Reference all day?
No, they're like most fans. They're not nerds.
9 out of 10 or more aren't.
You're telling me your wife has never been to BartTorvik.com?
Yes, exactly.
Like they're married to nerds.
That's exactly right.
Nerds.
She's not familiar with the Ken Palm basketball ranking system.
Probably not.
Mr. Pomeroy really's got his finger on the pulse.
I love when my wife every once in a while will try to dabble, and she'd be like, the 2 and the O was like a really risky one to swing at. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like trying to get into space. But
My wife, I thought about starting a Twitter account of things my wife asks sometimes. Because she asked a beauty last night. So the Montreal Canadiens.
Stanley Cup.
Advanced to the Stanley Cup, and it was on the television. She's like, Montreal Canadiens. She's like, I've never heard of that basketball team. I was like, bless your heart.
Because they don't exist.
Yeah, they actually was hockey. I was like, you're right. It's a winter sport. Like, you were close. And she's like,
never won the Stanley O'Brien Trophy?
Yeah, exactly.
She's got some real good ones sometimes. Like, she does. She makes me laugh sometimes with some of her sports questions.
Write yourself an email under the same subject line and then reply to it every time. And we did that for a little while with things that our first kid
was saying. Yeah.
And then we had a second kid, and then it was just like, we don't have time for this. We're not emailing ourselves with all this nonsense. We can barely tolerate it. They need to get into preschool. It's true though. Like if you're disassociated with sports, you show up to a stadium and the waves coming your way. You're like, finally, something I could become involved with.
It means there's people there, by the way. They're not doing the wave at the Oakland Coliseum.
No.
I mean, you got to have basically the full house to do it. They're not doing it in Pittsburgh right now.
It's just one guy standing up every once in a while, stretch his legs.
It is funny, though. I said this earlier, and for you guys, maybe it's like watching your children take their first steps. When the wave first starts, you're sort of like looking, and you're like, is it going to happen?
Right.
Is this going to work? Or is this not going to work?
Slow start. Like, will my car turn over?
Right.
I love this.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
I love that.
This is right at that section there. That's where it fell apart.
This is a fun moment, too, like where the guy stands up. He's cocky and proud. You know he's going for it. And he's just like, defense!
Right. Is everyone going to join? Yeah.
And nobody joins in, and you're just like, all right, well, look, good try.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to wait 2 more minutes. It's good, though. Somebody's got to initiate it. And then once it has inertia, like I said, waves come my way, I'm standing.
See, I like that. I thought it was good. Now, my wife just sent me a text and said I was being rude. I don't think I'm being rude.
No, you're being authentic.
I appreciate her effort. I love that.
Yeah.
Instead of her just being like, this is stupid, and I'm going to go someplace else, she's like, basketball? Close. Love you dearly. Hockey.
What % of your fights are based on air
Zero.
Okay.
Oh, good,
That's,
yeah.
which is a lot lower than mine. Because my wife is listening a lot.
Really?
And she's like, I disagree with your take on Tatis. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like,
you gotta get this at home?
Yeah, exactly.
You get home and she's like, John, you're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
You're like, why?
I'm really tired of what you said
Machado
about
does
Machado.
not have the numbers for the All-Star
exactly.
game.
John, he should not eat that ball. He should try that.
Exactly.
Musgrove's got to make that play.
Thank you. Yes. My life. Can't escape it.
Yeah. Well, it's the life we chose.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Fracture prints your digital photos directly onto glass, making your favorite moments come alive in vivid color. Hand assembled in the USA, Fracture glass prints are a unique and beautiful way to display and share your favorite moments. Simply upload your photo at fractureme.com, select your size, and your glass print will be shipped to you, ready to hang with just one screw. Use code POD15 to get 15% off your order today. That's code POD15 at fractureme.com.